Good morning, everyone. Firstly, I just want to thank you all for being here and giving me your ears and your undivided attention this morning as I share with you a passion of sorts of mine, a need that I feel the need to share with you all, and that is about drunk driving. It's a topic of conversation mostly represented in the high school health classroom or in the bedroom between a parent and teenager as they're growing up and going out to parties. But it's really not the teenagers that are the problem. It may come to your surprise, as it did to mine, that according to MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, an organization dedicated to all that is against drunk driving, actually provided statistics that showed that the majority percentage of people that do drink and drive are adults between the ages of 26 and 29. So from one adult to another, I would like to convey with you this societal issue and how we can play a role in being a part of the solution. But before I continue, I would like to share a personal story with you all. About a month and a half ago, I was driving home on a Sunday night, pretty late, about 10:30. And as it was approaching 11 o'clock, I was no more than 5 minutes away from home as I rounded a bend. As I was going around the bend, somebody else was going around the bend at the same time. Well, this other driver lost control of his car, crossing over the double yellow and hitting me head on. This is actually a picture of my car. As I climbed out the passenger side of my car, because I couldn't get out of mine, and climbed up the ditch in which my car had landed in, the man was so impaired that he didn't even bother to ask me if I was okay, or even call 911 for that matter. And it wasn't until a passerby had stopped and called 911 that an ambulance came and took me to the hospital. That night was probably the most scariest moment of my life, not knowing if I was going to be okay when the accident was going to be over. I mean, the sheer terror is indescribable. But I was blessed enough to be discharged the following morning with a fractured foot, blunt trauma, chest contusions, and some pretty nasty gashes and bruises that are actually still healing to this day, almost 2 months later. Unfortunately, there's a vast majority of people who are not as lucky and did not get to call their loved ones and say, hey, I'm going to be coming home today. As a matter of fact, Mothers Against Drunk Driving showed statistics that showed that 27 people die every single day from drunk driving related accidents. That's more than one person every single hour on the hour, every single day who is dying because somebody got behind the wheel of a car after drinking. And this man who hit me was 46 years old, not a teenager. And for those of you who may think that this is not a situation that might happen to you or may not be affected by it or never known anybody, the fact is, statistically, 2 out of 3 people in their lifetime will be a part of an accident that is DUI related. And aside from fatalities, Matt also produced statistics that showed that every 2 minutes, a person is injured in a DUI related accident, whether a driver, passenger, pedestrian. That's a lot. That is a lot of people. And aside from accidents and being a victim and injuries, just being caught drinking and driving alone has a headache of consequences that, as far as I can see, are not worth it. From expensive, insane amount of fines, being arrested, getting your license suspended, probation. I mean, there are so many consequences. I mean, your insurance rate can even triple. Even triple. I mean, triple times the amount of insurance that you're paying now. And in the future, companies could actually refuse to cover you because you're now considered an at-risk driver. Whatever the consequences may be for drinking and driving, none of it is worth it. So I encourage you all to proactively seek a way to be a part of the solution. And that solution is very simple. Be a designated driver. Whether it's for yourself or for somebody else, be a designated driver. The best way that I can encourage you to be a part of the solution proactively is utilizing would be the word to use, utilizing the companies out there and the services like Uber and Lyft who are there to pick you up and take you wherever you are, to wherever you need to be. If you're not familiar with Uber or Lyft, you can download the app on your phone or use it on your computer. Basically, people like me and you register to be drivers, and whoever is near you can pick you up and take you, who is a registered driver, to where you need to be. It's an amazing app. And actually, they studied the effects of using transportation services like Uber and Lyft and how their presence in several different cities have affected the amount of people dying from drinking and driving. And Temple University did a case study that found out that the amount of deaths from DUIs because of Uber and Lyft, in effect, correlation, has decreased by 5.6%. That is a lot of people and lives saved. So today I ask you to consider the things that I've talked to you about today and allow that to be food for thought and use that and hopefully be encouraged to not get behind the wheel by drinking and driving, whether it to be save your life or somebody else's. Please utilize transportation services like Uber and Lyft to protect your lives and others. Please be a part of the solution, not the problem.